Ladies and gentlemen, this worker shortage is global. It's going on everywhere. Well, Belgium just adopted a 4-day work week, and America is also trying to do the same. Mm-mm-mm. So, people that are business owners and people that run corporations, and they have felt the effects of the great resignation, and it's still in full swing. Work induced burnout, an official occupational hazard according to the World Health Organization. A growing number of employers and countries are rethinking the standard 40-hour work week. Iceland led the way in experimenting with shorter work weeks without pay cuts over several years. The experiment has largely been hailed as a success, with an estimated 86% of workers expected to adopt it. Now, Belgium has announced it will allow workers to request permission to compress their work week hours into 4 days. Companies in North America are following suit. A coalition of UK companies is expected to replicate the experiment this summer. The United States has a proposed bill that would reduce all standard work weeks to 32 hours, requiring overtime pay for anyone beyond that. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to see their hours get cut, so you'll go from 40 hours to 32 hours, but that will still be considered full time. I don't know, that sounds like the companies are winning. Perhaps the biggest argument in favor of a short work week is that it doesn't seem to harm productivity. As that may seem, part of this is due to the human tendency to stretch or condense the time needed to complete a task based on the time we have available. So if we know that we have 8 hours to fill, we'll pace ourselves. The promise of an earlier quitting time provides incentives to buckle down and streamline our work habits. The other part is that minds and muscles can function for only so long before fatigue kicks in and starts affecting long term health. After a certain length of time, most workers start getting diminishing returns on their efforts. After 50 hours in a week, stress induced damage starts appearing in a form of high blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, insulin resistance, and other dangerous symptoms. And some kind of work are best done in sprints less than 8 hours a day. Research has found that for tasks requiring sustained deep concentration and a state of flow, more times does not produce deeper or better quality thinking. For those kind of jobs, 6 hour shifts may be optimal. Working fewer hours per day would bring many parents' schedules more in sync with those of their children, especially school age children, giving parents opportunity to be more present and less exhausted during family time. Overall, 4-day labor, 3 days leisure seems more balanced than prevailing 5 and 2 model. Back in the day, I had a job and we worked 3 days in a row, 12 hours, and then we did a half hour on Thursday. And then the rest of, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we were off. That took some getting used to. In the beginning, it was hard. sitting there for 12 hours, but after a while we got used to it and it was easy. Okay. All right. So I don't know. How would y'all feel if your jobs that you're currently in goes to a 4-day work week? But the thing is, you go to 32 hours. I know a lot of people don't want to see their hours cut. But what they're saying is if you do additional hours after the 32, it's overtime. But they may not offer you that. Every company is not going to offer you overtime. They just don't. Okay, compressing 5 8-hour days into four 10-hour shifts, as Belgium is doing, may not help with stress, even if it results in a 3-day weekend. As noted above, productivity and quality, not to mention worker health, may suffer during those longer shifts. Shorter weekends won't help workplaces that are already running lean. One of the causes of the great resignation is that workplaces have made workers do more with less for too long. A workplace that is chronically under resourced and overloaded would have to add staff or cut back on projects and expectations to make a shorter work week possible. Finally, there will always be exceptions, whether through legal carve outs, such as 70K work period rule, which essentially moves the overtime goal post for emergency workers. Uh huh. And they said FLSA exempt status that allows employers to pay for 40 hours even when workers are giving more. The 40-hour week isn't consistently and equitably applied. So there is no reason to expect a shorter work week would be either. Well, I guess it depends on how you feel. Can you work a 10-hour shift for 4 days in a row? Or deal with in some of these, in some cases, as it states here, 4 days, 32 weeks, anything after 32, I'm sorry, 4 days, 32 hours, anytime after 32 hours, you get paid overtime. I mean, could you deal with that? I don't know. I think I would. I don't know. I'm not out there working. All right. So, and as with income distribution, those in greatest need would probably be least likely to be allowed to enjoy the benefits of the shortened work week. Despite those concerns, it is clear we need to rethink how we allocate our time individually and as a society. When it first implemented, the 40-hour work week was a huge improvement over the 80 to 100-hour work weeks people have been working before. What? Wait, whoa, whoa. People were working 80 to 100 hours a week before the 40-hour work week? That's insane. That's insane. That's some serious slave driving right there. The work until you drop dead in your shoes school of management, but now after decades of increased automation and innovations that let us work ever more efficiently, why are we still trying to wedge more productivity into the time we've supposedly saved? Hey, I don't know. You know, so I guess it really depends on what 10 hours you would work, or is there flexibility, because that's one thing they did not talk about, was flexibility in your schedule if you change to a 4-day work week. But y'all, Please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.